this is one of the biggest questions we get when working with higher ed institutions is this kind of balancing act of audiences. Obviously, your website needs to be reflective of your current students, but in many cases, really the people who you need to be coming to your website the most are those prospective students. It's really the gateway to them learning about you, making sure that prospective students can get an idea of what it's like to be a student on campus without even visiting campus itself. The website can be a really important tool for highlighting who you are and encouraging those prospective students to become current students. So that balancing act is really hard. One thing we see as a pretty major problem on a lot of higher ed websites is that their navigation and their setup of the site is set up for an internal audience. So you're using phrases that are targeting more of an internal structure. Maybe your website is set up to reflect your internal organizational structure, and that isn't really relating to prospective students. So kind of going back and saying, what are those key call to action points? Where are those key places that we need each audience to visit on the website is a good place to start. And then typically what we're realizing is that you need to sort of break it down by who are the primary audiences for each of these sites. Not that it's the case on all higher ed websites, but typically what we're seeing is that the public facing sites primary audience is prospective students, whereas more login based portals and things like that are more of the primary audience of current students and faculty and staff. So in that case, we want to make sure that the navigation and the structure of the public-facing website is targeted towards prospective students, while those logins to the portals and other things like that are still easily available by the other audiences. So I think it's a matter of a balancing act of understanding who are really the primary users of the website and making sure that your navigation and that your setup of the site is reflective of the needs of the primary and secondary audiences in the right kind of balance.